Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at some more Go Battle League battles, in which I'm going to still be using the Shadow Mawile, Azumarill, and Venusaur. Currently, I am going to be using, instead of the Venusaur, Tropius, just to test it out and see how it's going to be working for me with this team composition. It does have Air Slash, Aerial Ace, and a Leaf Blade. So let's go ahead and hop into this now. I was able to find myself a shiny Darkrai a couple days ago. If you guys did miss that video, I did put that out. I was able to actually encounter a shiny legendary, so we'll be taking a look at that. And what I wanted to do was actually catch it with a regular Pokeball, and you're gonna see the results. How long it actually took to catch that darn thing. Pretty funny, because it's not gonna be like when you do go to a raid and the first Premier Ball you do throw is going to instantly catch it. These can't run away, obviously, but they can definitely break out. So we'll be taking a look at that later on. Anyways, let's go ahead and focus on these battles. Quite a long video, folks. The reason why I'm going to be putting out long videos like this is because a lot of people are going to be staying home, and I kind of want to put out a longer content video for you guys to just relax and watch and be entertained, right? So if you do enjoy these videos, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will be bringing you other videos other than PvP, but this is kind of the focus now. Everybody's inside PvPing. We're able to do a ton of battles, 35, 7 sets, and we're able to continue on without paying, so I'm assuming a lot of people are going to be PvPing right now and are focused on this. Anyways, going in with the Mawile. Now, I love my Shadow Mawile. It is amazing. It can put in work in many situations, but it is also a risk to run. But I guess I'm just going to be taking that risk. I just want to win with it, right? So we're able to barely win that there with the Azumarill. The Mawile did put in work. Moving on to our next opponent. By the end of this video, I will be rank 7. So we're going to be moving into the point system and not so much just a random number like wins that you have to have, right? So let's go ahead and see what we have going on here. So we're going to be going for that play rough onto the opposing Azumarill. They're switching into the Registeel. I could have made that switch a little bit sooner, but like I've previously discussed on other videos, I kind of like to see what they were going to be bringing out instead of swapping into, say, like a Whiscash or something that is going to not benefit my swap. Anyways, continuing on here, we did use a shield. I think I do decide to use another one here. All right, yeah, we would have been able to survive that technically, and then whatever came in would have been able to just do a little bit of damage. But I just decided to just go ahead and shield it up. I go for the play rough or whatever they do bring in. We're having a bit of lag here, and I do believe they back out at this point. Even though they have a shield, they realize that that is not a winning scenario. Moving on to our next battles here. And then later on, I do decide to start leading with the Venusaur because all of a sudden, I started running into a bunch of Clefable leads with Charm, and yeah, the Azumarill can't really handle that too well. It's not a horrible situation, but most of the time they were shielding up twice with that Clefable, preserving it and farming down, so they do have the switch advantage. So that Venusaur was in my best interest. Funny enough, I didn't run into any Clefables after I did switch it. I feel like, I've said this before, but I really do feel like the matchmaking pairs you up with specific Pokemon that you have. In comparison to the other trainer. I'm not 100% sure on that, but when I used my all Shadow team, it was very apparent that the matchmaking system was pairing me up with people that were going to be super strong against me. It could just be all in my head, but I've seen a lot of you talking about it too. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and go in here with the Tropius. Now, Air Slash over Razor Leaf. Now, Air Slash is going to be helping me obviously go up against those grass types and doing neutral damage to flying types, unless it is going to be Skarmy, right, because of the part steel. Razor Leaf is magnificent if you do have a Swampert or a Whiscash, but we do have that Razor Leaf coverage as well as the Azumarill to somewhat cover those Pokemon. There goes that Wigglytuff that we were talking about. It wasn't the lead, but it was still there. I feel like if I switch out my Mawile for the Alolan Marowak, I would be in a whole lot better position in a lot of these scenarios here, and I just might do that. Let Mawile sit out for a little while and take a rest, because I literally have had it on every single team for every single match, and I've done 60 so far. So yeah, it's definitely awesome, but I think I'm going to give it a rest for a couple of matches to see how I do perform. All right, so we're up against that nice shiny Skarmy here versus our Azumarill. So I am going with Play Rough and Ice Beam if you haven't noticed. Just testing it out to see how flexible it is. I do kind of like the coverage, but at the same time, if I do go up against a Bastodon or a Registeel, I'm going to be in a whole lot of trouble. As well as having the Tropius or Venusaur in the back. The only thing that could really handle it at this point would be the Mawile with Fire Fang and Power Punch. So they are switching into their Bastodon here, so gonna go for that Leaf Blade, of course. It doesn't really do much damage while the Smackdowns are eating away at me. Was getting a little nervous for this match here. And I mean, they can go for Stone Edge, they can go for Flamethrower, more than likely Flamethrower, right? So we decide to shield that up. Not 100% sure if that was the best call. At this point, I think I was just trying to wear out the clock. So it's ready, and I am going to be able to switch and go into Mawile and go for that Power Up Punch, which is going to be super effective, but not doing very much damage. They do decide to shield it up, and I think I decided to shield up my Malt. Nope, we're going to let it go through. Flamethrower doing a lot of damage, and then I'm making an instant switch. The reason why I wanted to preserve that Tropius is because they did have that Whiscash, and they do not have any more shields. They go for that Blizzard. And we're getting a little bit more energy, as if I think in the back of my mind I'm going to win this match. Obviously not. They're going to go in with Bastodon and take me out. But I mean, I was so close to Razor Leaf, I potentially could have almost won that. So very close games and good games for all of these matches. So we're met with a Avigroth. Very interesting here. I decided to include this one because I wanted people to see the different variety of Pokemon that you can use and not just the same old thing. Because this individual trainer does play very well here. So I do decide to switch into my Tropius because I have been in that scenario up against a Vigoroth, and it's with my Azumarill, it's not the best situation. And then they're going to be switching into a Noctowl. So this guy's going off meta, very nice. Really like those kind of teams. It really makes me think about different scenarios, not the same old that I keep going up against. So at this point, don't know exactly what I should do. I do go back in here with the Azumarill. Probably should have went with the Mawile, honestly, resisting the flying type moves, but we're so squishy, it's like, it doesn't really matter. It feels like neutral damage anyways. They are bringing in their Meganium, and we're going to go ahead and go for an Ice Beam here, and I do believe I make a switch, but we're in a bad position because they're going to be able to counter switch us, but I do decide to continue on here. They're switching into Vigoroth to hit us with that quick body slam there, taking us out, and now we're not looking great. So we have a shield left, though. The body slams are going to be neutral, but it can possibly use dig. I do decide to let this go through, and they have another one back to back. Unfortunately, they were trying to murder our shields. They could have went for a ground type move, but yeah, we're not looking great here. So I go for the Play Rough, and I don't know. Yeah, it's it's a game over, unfortunately. Meganium's able to take us out with the Frenzy Plant. So can you see the reason why Mawile is good, but also not good at the same time? If I had a Alolan Marowak in that specific situation, it would have been a lot better. So now we're met with one of these Clefable leads. Let's go ahead and see how this works out here. I have been just kind of going for Ice Beam. Every time I do go for the Play Rough or Ice Beam, it doesn't really matter. It seems like they're shielding it up anyways, but once in a while, I would try to sneak in a Play Rough whenever I did encounter one of these in the lead. But it always did end up getting shielded, so it was kind of a waste of energy when I could have just went for the Ice Beam. So they do take us down. They do commit to using both shields at this point. We're going to go in here with something that's resisting it, and then they're switching into their Medicham immediately, in which we're going to be going with our Tropius. Realized that there was probably going to be an Ice Punch coming at me here. We're just going to be going for the Aerial Ace, and we're taking it down with the quick moves. And that's another reason why I like that Air/Quick move. In comes Altaria. Now this is a bit of a problem here. They have no more shields. We do have the Mawile, which can Play Rough it, but at the same time, they just gained a ton of energy on us, and we're still not at Play Rough. We have a shield left, but we still have to worry about that Pokemon in the back. So gonna go ahead and go for that Play Rough. This will definitely KO that Altaria, and they're bringing in the Clefable here, and I was getting a little nervous. Please don't be Meteor Mash. It was Psychic, and we're able to take the win with the Mawile. Really nice there. Mawile seems like it does pull up in the rear to take the win for me quite often. So we're met with a Deoxys lead. Now, I don't necessarily like this because of the Thunderbolt. They didn't go for it. They hit me with the Rock Slide. As you're going to see, they continuously go for the Rock Slide. Not too sure if they're trying to get a shield out of me, or if they have Psycho Boost in the back. So we'll see what happens here. I do decide to shield, thinking that they are trying to trick me and baiting a shield. They do go for another Rock Slide. I use a shield, and then unfortunately I use my energy. Should have not done that. So we're definitely going to just be switching into our Registeel counter, which is going to be the Mawile. But as we've seen, can take a hit, but usually we're able to take out that Registeel without switching, or shielding, sorry, if we time it right. We don't switch too late, and they're able to just take us out immediately without farming too much, which is a good thing. Now I have to just worry about what's in the back. I'm thinking it's possibly going to be an Altaria, so I need to salvage the Azumarill to some degree, but I'm just using up the energy here. They go ahead and shield it up, which is not great. We're going to be switching into Tropius. They're immediately switching into their Altaria, as we predicted here, and this one's it's pretty much a wrap, folks. Yeah, it's pretty much a wrap here. Let's see what I can do, though. I have one shield, so it's not all bad. It is all bad, actually. It is all bad. So they're hitting us with a Sky Attack, doing a ton of damage. Super effective because, well, we're grass and flying. Hitting them with the Aerial Ace, doing okay damage, but they do have a bit of energy up on us. At this point, I was getting a bit brave. I wanted to potentially farm it down, but watch what they do here. We're going for the farm. We can hit an Ice Beam and take it out, but then we're going to have no energy. They switch into Deoxys, and I had Play Rough. I could have went for that and taken it out, and then potentially bubbled down with one bubble the Altaria that had probably like 1 HP left. So a little mistake on my end, and they did have Psycho Boost as they revealed it at the end. Going up against our next opponent, quite a lot of battles here, folks. Let's go. They're starting it off with a Golbat, which, if you're thinking, why would they do that? Actually, it's not a horrible idea. Somebody starts with a Venusaur or a Tropius or a Grass type or an Azumarill. Well, they have super effective poison type moves to hit us with, right? So let's see how this plays out here. I do believe or recall that this individual trainer had a pretty off-meta team for the Open League, I would say. So they do hit us with the Shadow Ball there, doing a good amount of damage. Maybe they could have just went for the Poison Fang, but yeah, that works too. And then they bring in their Raichu, so this is not a bad pick at all. They were fishing for a shield here. They go for the Brick Break. I was pretty happy about that. I was like, all right, awesome. We can get off another Ice Beam and burn their last shield here. Unfortunately, we're not able to get to a charge, but fortunately, though, they go for their Brick Break using that energy, so that's fantastic. We're going to go ahead and go with Mawile, as the flying type moves are going to be resisted by Tropius. And they're going for Brick Break, doing a good amount of damage to the Mawile, and they have another one ready. I do decide to let this go through, as we do not know what is going to be in the back here. Finishing it off with quick moves. We have energy, and we're just going to go ahead and go for Play Rough. Had a little bit of lag, and all right, now that it reminded me of the lag, folks, I'm losing a ton of matches because of lag. And I'm not going to lie, I won a couple matches because of lag as well, where the trainer was just sitting there, and I was like, what's going on? I stopped attacking for a minute. But then I just finished it because I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. We're just going to finish this match. But it has also happened to me in return. So, yeah, it's really unfortunate. This is an official season. So, you know, every win, every loss, you know, you're really trying your best to do what you can to pull off those wins. And when you receive lag, when you're in a winning position, is extremely frustrating, right? So anyways, so we do have our Mawile up against the Skarmy here. I love this kind of position for the Mawile. I most of the time come out winning. We are going to shield this up because we kind of want switch advantage, lead advantage. See what they bring out so we can kind of counter switch them. Unfortunately, though, at this point, it is a Whiscash, and they're going to be able to farm down. And our Tropius that we're still using, in which we're going to be going back to Venusaur here in a bit, does not have a quick grass move. So, and we also have to look out for Blizzard. They have 2 shields. So what I do is I go in with the Tropius. I knew they had a Blizzard, and they probably hit it immediately, and then I switch into my Azumarill to catch it. So that, pretty proud about that play there. That was really nice. I think that was probably one of the only winning scenarios for me there. I'm sure I could have went with the Tropius and, you know, did work and shielded up, and then I would have been shieldless though. So that kind of helped me preserve that one shield. And it looks like they're staying in here because they do not want to switch. They're just mud bombing away, and we switch immediately. And it looked like there was lag. I think they were trying to hit their charge move or something. Guys, it's all buggy. It's really all buggy. So at this point, I want to commit to the farm down. So once the Whiscash does come in, I'm just going to simply be able to Leaf Blade it. And we're not shielding anything up here. Getting dangerously low with the Tropius, and then we're just simply going to go with the Leaf Blade, take it out, and take the win there. Moving on to our next opponent, folks. Let's see what we have. Starting it off with the Azumarill. And I'm going to be leading with Venusaur here in a bit. So this is a good matchup for me. It's not like a hard win, but it's not a horrible either. So since we do have Ice Beam, we'll simply just be able to continuously go for that. We should be able to win. As long as we use 2 shields, we'll be looking okay here. So they did go for a little bit more energy gain than usual. So they're able to get to that Sky Attack before we get to the Ice Beam here. And now we both have burned a shield. I'm able to get to that Ice Beam, but they are able to get to their Sky Attack first or win the CMP there. Getting ready for a switch, and we go into the Mawile to take it out immediately with energy on our Azumarill. And then they go ahead and go in there with the Altaria. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, we need to get the shield out of them. So we're just going to go for a play rough. If they shield it up, fine. The only thing I have to worry about at this point is them farming us down and having a lot of energy for the Azumarill. So they're shieldless. If we go in there with our Azumarill that we do have, we have Ice Beam, right? So we're going to be able to take out the Altaria one shot. I do believe we're at an Ice Beam, yes, and we're hitting it. Perfect. Now we just have to hope and pray that we have something to take out what they have in the back, and it's a Alolan Raichu, making a switch immediately into the Tropius, going for the Leaf Blade. That's going to be neutral damage. And they do have Volt Switch, which, oh boy, it's going to be charging their energy quite fast. Going for a Wild Charge, that hurts quite a bit. Being the Grass type, it is going to kind of neutralize it. We are going to be part flying that. So they're running Volt Switch and Thunder Punch. Ouch. I was really surprised when they hit me with that, but we're able to go in with our Azumarill and take the win barely there. That was a close one there. This is a very memorable battle. Let's just put it that way. All right, so we have an Azumarill versus an Azumarill. All right, what's new? What's new? So we do decide to let this go through, expecting a play rough, of course, and we're just going to retaliate with the play rough as well. And they do decide to shield it up, and I was thinking, okay, a little different, and then they're switching into their Giratina. Now we're going to go ahead and go Mawile. I made a critical mistake, as you're going to see here. Them shielding that Azumarill in the beginning was the key, was like the whole turning point for them. Hitting us with a Doom Desire, absolutely devastating, and that's what I should have shielded up. So they have 0 shields, I have 2 shields, Stingy, being Mr. Stingy, and then they have energy for a Doom Desire. That shocked me as well. I was like, kidding me, burned a shield. Man, I am losing hard here, and their Azumarill's at basically full health. I already know as soon as I switch into my Tropius, they're going to switch into something like an Altaria. So, yeah, not too great. So we make that switch. They decide to stay in here, knowing that they probably have the counter in the back. So they're like, okay, go ahead and just take us out. But they're able to survive, folks, and get off an Ice Beam. Wow. They just kept hanging on by a thread, getting off these charge moves this whole round. I was actually pretty annoyed for this one. Obviously, I mean, they're playing normal. They didn't do anything, but it's very close. So what's going to happen here? Unfortunately, we're not able to take the win there. Very close to that Ice Beam, and they take us out with a Sky Attack. Well played. Well played. All right, on to our next opponent here. And here we go with the Clefable leads. This is why I started going with Venusaur, but they make a switch into the Roserade immediately. I was like, okay, go Mawile. Fire Fang. All right, so then they're bringing in their Umbreon, and sweet. My Mawile loves to see Umbreon. So they're going to be shielding up the Power Punch. That's great. Maybe they thought a play rough was coming at them. We will be shielding that up just to do a little bit more damage with the Power Punch and the Fire Fang here. And just continuing on. So if I did switch out the Mawile for the Alolan Marowak, this is not a good position for it. But then again, I would play around it. Oh, I'm testing out Shiftry. Okay, so this is the one I was testing Shiftry and expecting them to go back in with the Clefable because Charm's going to devastate. Did you see that? It stopped me from using my, like, hitting the bubbles. It, like, just stopped midway. It's all broken, folks. I'm not including all of the battles because, like I've said in my past videos, every time I include these laggy battles, I just go off on a rant for the rest of the video. So we'll exclude them. Some of them are still a little bit buggy, as you've seen, but I want to include some of them, but not all. So unfortunately, we had to use energy on that Clefable because the quick move that we do have on the Shifter is not going to take out the Clefable. And then we're getting off a Razor Leaf. This is so ridiculous. And yep, that was a game over. They finished me off there. So on to the... Well, it wasn't really ridiculous, but another Clefable. See, this is what we were talking about in the beginning of the video. We started running into these Clefable leads. And I mean, it's not bad, but I'm going to switch up my team. Let's just say that the whole Mawile, Venusaur, Tropius, and Azumarill, I'm going to completely refigure it. Probably still run Azumarill because it's just such a staple. It's so amazing. It works so well with so many different Pokemon, and its movesets are just fantastic for the meta. But yeah, I just kind of want to see what I can do. Anyways, Toxicroak, and we go ahead and go for the Power Punch. They're probably expecting a play rough, or that's not this opponent. Nope, they let it go through and they take us down and farmed us. So they have a ton of energy. Not looking great because the Venusaur is going to be taking a lot of damage from both of Toxicroak's moves. So we do shield up that Sludge Bomb. And we switch into our Azumarill here. And I don't know if this was a correct play or not. They Sludge Bomb us. We go back in with Venusaur. We take out the Clefable. At this point, I'm like, please don't be an Altaria in the back. And it is a Whiscash. We're looking great. We have no more shields, but that's fine. We have so much energy. We're going to be able to take it out. Thank goodness for Venusaur. And taking that win there. Nice. So now we're starting off with Venusaur as we kept running into those Clefable leads. But all of a sudden, you know, it's going to change up. And we're met with an Umbreon. Now, this isn't horrible, but it's not great because it's still going to hurt us quite a bit. Frenzy Plant's still doing a ton of damage as well. So we get it down to half. And I do decide, I think, to use a shield. No, wait, let it go through. And make a switch to catch. Okay, that's nice, nice. Catch the foul play with the Mawile. They're going in with the Medicham. And this is okay because we're going to be able to go back in with our Azumarill and basically farm it down to some degree. Have some energy left over after we take it out. We could even go Venusaur. Probably would have been the better option. Maybe, but I was expecting an Ice Punch, so I decided to just go with that. They do hit me with Dynamic Punch, which is going to eventually add up if I do decide to farm down here. Getting stingy with the shields, as you can see, me and my stinginess. All right, not necessarily needing to shield these. They go for an Ice Punch, expecting, you know, to get fainted down here, just using the last bit of their energy. We're fairly low. In comes the Azumarill, and I was thinking, not good. I had the Pokemon, but I don't have them lined up. We're going to go for the Venusaur immediately. Go for that Frenzy Plant to burn that shield. Expecting a switch here into the Umbreon. We still have 2 shields at this point. So we're looking great. They have no more shields. And we're going to be able to win with the Venusaur. So Venusaur's put it in work, folks, for sure. For sure. And we're going to be able to tank those Bubble Beams and shield up the Ice Beams while getting off the Frenzy Plant and then taking the Veen. The Veen! Onto the next opponent, starting it off with Venusaur again. A little bit weary of Psycho Boost on the defense form Deoxys. Gonna go for that Frenzy Plant to just do as much damage as possible, as quick as possible. I think I let this go through, praying it's not a Psycho Boost, it's a Rock Slide, so that's great. They make an immediate switch. Now at this point, I probably should have saved this energy and just went in with the Azumarill. So that Venusaur would have had a Frenzy Plant ready to go. I just kind of felt comfortable. I wanted to chip away and then have even more energy after I take it out with a possible Ice Beam for whatever does come in next. So the Umbreon is trying its darndest to chip away at my Azumarill here with the Last Resorts, possibly trying to fish for a shield here or just getting off as much energy before I get off a play rough. And that's probably why they wanted to just keep going with those foul plays here, just to do as much chip damage as possible. I totally understand that position, thinking that they're going to hit you with the hard move, but they just keep kind of farming you down and hitting you with the softer moves. They come back in with the Deoxys, shielding it up. Then we make a switch. We still have 2 shields, shielding up this Rock Slide here. I'm going to go ahead and farm that down. Now we can see what their last Pokemon is. It's going to be a Frostlass. Fantastic. I mean, I'm not going to say there's a better situation, but this is great. With the shields on our end, Fire Fang vamped up with Power Up Punch. Very nice. Spicy with a side of meatballs. All right, moving on to the next opponent, folks. I know this is a long video, but hey. All right, I wanted to include this battle because this is probably the hardest loss I've experienced for Season 1. So they led with the Alola Marowak, and that is going to be probably one of the strongest counters to my team here. The only thing I can basically do is use my Azumarill to hit it with Bubble, because we do not have Hydro Pump at this point, right? We're testing out Play Rough and Ice Beam. So they have a Tentacruel, and I was like, man, this is bad. This guy is running a very nice team here. That is definitely hard countering me, so not looking great. So what can we do? We switch into our Venusaur, and they're throwing an Acid Spray to lower our defense here. So they're just going to be doing even more now with those quick moves. And they are blocking up that Frenzy Plant. And we're just going to go for another one here. I mean, there's no recovering this battle. There is nothing I can do because of the Alola Marowak. I'm just going to still play it out to the best of my ability. They go for a Blizzard trying to KO us. We use a Shield, which was bad. I could have possibly saved that for my Azumarill. They're going for an Acid Spray, lowering our defense, and I was trying to farm down, but I mean, they were just tearing us apart with that quick move and the lower defense. And I should have went for that Ice Beam. I was expecting the Alola Marowak. I could have bring it down even lower. So unfortunately, we're expending even more energy that we did not need to use. But it's a game over. I back out. I'm like, nah, I'm done. You got me, bud. Good job. Clap, clap, clap. All right, on to the next opponent. So we see another Deoxys. Don't like this position at all, really. Was contemplating catching a Thunderbolt with my Venusaur, but it's a Rock Slide. We have another Rock Slide user here, potentially trying to fish for a shield. We're going to go ahead and go Play Rough. Of course, they shield it up. Of course, of course. If I go for Ice Beam, they don't. If I go for Play Rough, they do. So I made a crucial mistake. No, I didn't actually try to go for this. I was trying to switch, as you've seen there, but it went for Play Rough. I hate that. I don't like to use the word hate, but I really dislike that. It is so bad and annoying. A lot of energy wasted when I was trying to switch there. So anyways, at least a little bit more damage, I suppose. Just going to go ahead and go to town with the Mawile. Did decide to let this go through because we do not want them to farm us with whatever they do bring in. So we're going to be pretty low. They go for a charge move immediately, which is great. They could have potentially farmed us down there, but that's all right. And deciding on what I should do, I think I'm going to go back in with a Azumarill here and then switch into Venusaur. I don't know exactly what I was trying to do there. Maybe catch a Thunderbolt. Or, I don't know. Trying to pull off a win, right? So going for the Frenzy Plant, hoping there's not an Altaria in the back. It's a Whiscash. Gosh, I love that. I love it when they pull out the last Pokemon. I have a Venusaur out. It's like, oh, well, Frenzy Plant. Let's go. Thanks for the battle. All right, so now let's go ahead and see this, trainers. This is incredible. A shiny Giratina. So not only have I gotten shiny Darkrai through the Go Battle League, but this is going to be my second mythical or legendary. First one was a mythical, now this one's a legendary, so I've gotten one of shiny of each. What I wanted to do here, folks, was actually catch it with a Pokeball. This took me a long time, and I'm going to include the whole thing. And I hit excellent throws every time. And some of you are probably going to be like, wow, with the current state that we're in, you're wasting all those Pokeballs when you could have just used an Ultra Ball to catch it. Yeah, I understand that. Definitely probably should have went for Ultra Ball, but what I wanted to do was catch a shiny legendary and have it in a Pokeball. The only other way you would be able to do this is if you were to get a shiny through the breakthrough box. Obviously, Giratina's not in those, right? So I just wanted to add this to my collection. A bit of a souvenir and pretty awesome, and that's why I just continued on with this. Fluctuated throughout many different berries, and you're going to see exactly how I catch it. Incredible. After so many throws, it finally decided to go ahead and let me have it. But anyways, trainers, I'm going to let this play out here with some music. You can go ahead and enjoy me trying to catch this with all excellent throws. Pretty funny stuff. I kind of wanted to savor it too. I found it pretty funny that it kept breaking out with excellent throws and golden and pineapple, silver pineapples, and then regular berries. And I think I threw a couple of pineapple berries, regular ones, a few times to see if I can catch it. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video, trainers, please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.